know, many people think that shade is a difficult area to deal with. Not at all, as long as you do the right things. First of all, the most significant thing is bed preparation. You know, you're dealing with a lot of big roots, you're dealing with soils that haven't had plant material, and those smaller plants need to compete with the larger trees that they're growing under. So first of all, you want to make sure that you spend a lot of time on the composting and enriching of that soil. Get the microbe activity back in it. Once you do that, then you're going to find shade gardening can be very rewarding. Some of the shade gardening tricks would be to use your bigger trees as your platforms and to develop your beds around them. As you look through our shade gardens here, you'll find that I don't hand trim anything. Everything that the bigger mower can't hit, it goes into a planting bed, and either with ground covers or combinations of different things that will give us color and show in all different seasons of the year. You know, as you go about developing your shade garden, if you don't have a lot of good trees already established, in the instance here, there were a lot of swamp willows, which are a very messy tree that breaks up. And so as we planted our new trees and better species, then we carefully eliminated the swamp willows. So you'll find native ash, native cottonwood, and native box elder, but all of the swamp willows are gone, now replaced with river birch, with oaks, with a sweet gum, with maples of different types. So there's a lot of different trees that can grow in the shade. Swamp white oak loves a wet area, and it will tolerate it very well, as will most other oaks. Your river birch don't like to be in the water, but they like to have their feet available to the water. And so consequently, you'll put them up on a little higher platform. The one thing you won't be very successful with unless you berm it up and get it above the water table are evergreens. Evergreens do not like to have their feet wet. So you will notice through the landscape in the shade garden that the evergreens are placed where they can drain and that they do not have constant wet feet. You know, in our case, we've got a stream running through, and so that's wet shade. But many of you may be dealing with a dry shade area. Dry shade is a different animal, and you do have to watch the plants that are underneath that tree, because during July and August, that tree is pulling all the moisture and nutrients away from those small plants, or away from turf in that case. So consequently, with dry shade, you have to pay more attention to the small plants that are competing with the bigger tree.